Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us. We've prepared a really impressive story for you. Of course, these days everything is about AI, but I'd say this case is the cherry on top of the AI cake. We'll walk you through a real client example showing how AI can boost your software delivery lifecycle. Accenture will present a pilot project they carried out for Skyguide, highlighting the benefits achieved for the client and how they made it happen. So let's get started right away. Priya, could you tell us a bit more about the client and the motivation behind the project?
Sure, Michael. Hi, everyone. Lucas and I are from the Accenture account team at Skyguide and are very excited to share our recent success story with you. Skyguide is Switzerland's air navigation service provider, responsible for managing both civil and military air traffic across Swiss airspace and delegated areas in neighboring countries, ensuring safe and efficient flight operations. Air traffic management is a highly safety-driven and regulated industry, which often means it's up to 10 years behind other sectors when it comes to adopting new technologies. That context is very important before we dive into the project details. And this is how it started. A new EU regulation came into force that covers several operational and system-level aspects across air traffic organizations. One of the key areas it touches is how requirements for applications are defined and maintained. We chose to start exactly there with requirements engineering because for Skyguide, this isn't just a small task. Unlike many air navigation service providers, Skyguide develops over half of their mission-critical applications in-house. So they are not just updating a few vendor contracts. They need to rework and formalize requirements for a large share of their own software systems. And there's also a clear regulatory deadline. So if systems don't meet the new expectations, they risk being paused or restricted from further use. Looking at that challenge, we had an idea. Could we use AI to help automate and accelerate the requirements rework? That's what led to proof of concept, not just to meet compliance needs, but also to turn this regulatory pressure into an opportunity to modernize Skyguide's software development processes with intelligent tooling.
Thanks a lot, Priya. Lucas, please tell us more about the pilot. What was the as-is process and the requirements?
Certainly, Michael. Also a warm welcome from my side. The as-is process involved manually refining requirements directly in Polarion, often using multiple browser tabs to cross-reference related items. While effective, it lacked standardized workflows, making consistency and efficiency harder to achieve across all projects. The pilot of SkyEye was fully conducted on-premise, using dedicated hardware at the client side, a local installation, a local executed pilot, and a locally hosted model. Specifically, Olama running Llama 70B in 8-bit quantization, ensured complete control over the data and infrastructure. Among all models evaluated, Llama 70B delivered the best results for our use case, outperforming lighter alternatives like Mistral. In our context, cloud-based AI services were not an option due to strictly regulatory and data protection requirements in the aviation industry, particularly concerning production data. This made an on-premise AI solution not just only preferred, but essential.
Okay, gotcha, Lucas. So I have the feeling we talk about a lot of manual effort here around requirements engineering. I'm very keen to see the 2B part of your pilot.
Of course, Michael. Let me show you a video I've prepared. So what you can see here actually is just the login screen of SkyEye. This is just one time that you have to enter the login credentials. Here you can select the project and the requirement you want to now refine. So this is basically connected to Polarion. Here you can see the AI already analyzing it. On the left-hand side, you can still go through the requirement itself so that you know what you're dealing with. And once the AI has done its job, then you will see it on the right-hand side what the AI has made out of this requirement. On the top, this you will see once the AI has finished its progress. Yeah. You see it has split this huge requirement into multiple parts. As a requirements engineer, I can go now through all of them. You can see what the AI has refined. You can also say if this is fine for you, that this is marked as reviewed, and then it will be green in the table. Yes, you can also scroll here and check whatever has the AI done in terms of splitting, because this was also a huge issue in the past, splitting the requirements properly. Now the AI is doing it automatically. If something is missing, whatever it will be, you can also change it here in the editor directly. You don't need to go to Polarium. You can also delete things if needed. And then once this is done, you can also set it to green so as to reviewed. And finally, you can also, if something is really missing, you can you check the quality criteria once again, if it's really needed. And if something is really missing, or if it's really not wanted, you can also delete something the AI has done or add something. So it seems the AI has missed something here in this split requirement. So you can also add a new line of whatever is missing. So the requirements engineer still has the control over everything. It's not that the AI is doing something 100% alone, and this is then being sent back to Polarium. So once this is now all green, or you don't want to delete something, you can finally send it back to Polarium, and this is basically done. This is the entire job now of the requirements engineer.
Very impressive demo, Lucas. But as I know Accenture, you put also some KPIs on this, isn't it? Would you mind highlighting the biggest efficiency levers?
Of course, Michael. Let me begin with the core of our pilot, the requirements gathering. Bringing all existing requirements up to a standard manually would take roughly 80 man-years of expert effort. A huge burden for any organization. That's why we targeted this area at first. In the manual process, engineers had to read, revert, validate, and format, and often also switching between multiple browser tabs. A very time-consuming task. With our AI-assisted setup, the workflow was reduced to just 2 manual touchpoints, selecting the requirement and later reviewing and confirming it, the AI-enhanced version. In practice, this meant that what you previously required days or even weeks per batch could now done within a fraction of the time, while still leaving expert in control of the final outcome. The other stages you see here, from design and planning to monitoring and maintenance, are future use cases. They haven't been rolled out yet, but the existing setup is ready to support them. Because we designed the pilot with the scalability in mind, extending to these areas would be just a natural next steps with a minimal technical effort. So while the pilot focused on requirements, it clearly demonstrated how AI can bring measurable gains and how this foundation can be expanded across the full software lifecycle.
One thing is doing a quick pilot, but another thing is doing an MVP to prove the new service performs in production. Here, things like scalability becoming more and more important. Could you elaborate a bit more on how you considered the most important cornerstones on the architectural level?
Yes, sure. We are fully aware that running a pilot is one thing, but scaling it and embedding it into a client's application landscape is another challenging thing. That's why we developed a blueprint architecture designed specifically for the next step. It's modular, scalable, and aligned with the enterprise environments. At the foundation, we proposed a hybrid infrastructure combining the on-premise and cloud data centers, depending on the use case. This gives us the flexibility to meet performance, security, or regulatory needs. Above that, we have selected OpenShift as a common platform to manage services consistently across all environments. We have layered in OpenShift AI to support the full AI lifecycle and connected it to essential enterprise services like API gateways, identity access, and tools like ALM and Git. While this architecture hasn't been implemented yet, it provides a clear and future-proof path for moving from MVP to a full-scale adoption in a way that it fits the client's IT strategy and operational model.
So as I understand, you already planned far ahead from an application point of view. How does this look on the use case side?
The pilot around requirements gathering clearly demonstrated how AI can reduce manual effort and free up expert capacity. What makes this especially valuable in this same foundation can be extended across the entire software lifecycle. In design and planning, AI can support collaboration by integrating directly with existing tools, improving alignment without adding overhead. During development and testing, automation can accelerate cycles with AI assisting in code validation, defect detection, and quality assurance. For deployment and operations, we see a strong potential in using AI to simplify compliance and support data privacy workflows, particularly in these industries. And in monitoring and maintenance, AI can help detect issues earlier and generate meaningful insights through the automated reporting. Each of these use cases is a logical next step, not just technically feasible, but already anticipated in the platform setup. The groundwork is in place. Now it's about scaling the impact.
Thanks a lot, Lucas, for the detailed insights. In general, if someone would ask you what is your recommendation and the most important things around an AI project, you as a senior manager from Accenture, what would be your main advices?
Everything needs a business case. Some things should be changed, some can be, some shouldn't. Makes no sense to touch something, improve it, although it's barely used. So the KPIs are very important. You need a good overview of possible non-monetary benefits, non-monetary or monetary benefits. Most of the time, I need them together with the POC to present to a client's leadership and get approval for the next steps. In an early phase, there is normally no budget. You need to be able to drive a pilot very efficient and free from a software point of view. Tools like Red Hat's Instruct Lab are ideal for this. But as described before, I should have barely any additional efforts to scale from a pilot to an MVP and finally to a productive application. For an MVP, I maybe want to have rather a localized infrastructure and software solution where, especially if I have a customer with a fully fledged multi-cloud journey, I need the solution for a future which enables me in an easy way to a cloud journey. Here, the Red Hat AI and OpenShift AI is a very interesting solution.
Makes fully sense, Lucas. Dominic, from a Red Hat point of view, could you please elaborate a bit more on how Red Hat helps the partners to exactly go this path described by Lucas?
Of course, Michael, and also a warm welcome from my side. Well, in today's AI race, enterprises need adaptable, trustworthy models, fast, and also Instruct Lab offers a game-changing approach, perfectly complementing RHEL AI and OpenShift AI, unlocking a new era of enterprise-grade AI. Instruct Lab, for example, flips traditional AI development. Instead of just massive data, we directly teach model-specific skills through curated instructions. Think of it as a precisely educating an AI for a specific job. This means more explainable, controllable AI developed efficiently and collaboratively through a powerful open source community. For RHEL AI, InstructLab provides a pipeline for curated, fine-tuned models optimized for your infrastructure. Imagine a repository of AI experts, each specifically trained for enterprise tasks. This streamlines deployment, enhances security through explainability, and taps into a vibrant community from continuous innovation directly within the RHEL ecosystem. InstructLab finds its optimal operational environment in OpenShift AI. The platform's inherent scalability effectively handles the entire lifecycle of instruction data. Furthermore, its integrated MLOps capabilities streamline and automate instruction-based model training and fine-tuning processes. OpenShift promotes a collaborative workspace, enabling teams to collectively develop and enhance specialized AI models while ensuring smooth integration with established MLOps pipelines. This standardization across diverse infrastructures delivers complete flexibility and future-proof sovereignty through its hybrid architecture.
Thanks a lot, Lucas and Dominic, for the valuable input. So let me summarize at the end the main 3 takeaways of today's session. So first of all, AI is here to help. And this doesn't mean a chatbot for my cafeteria. There are tons of use cases out there to improve your software lifecycle in a way it was propagated years ago with DevOps. Second, as you heard, Red Hat's partner ecosystem is here to help. We have strong partnerships like with Accenture and the right guys to tackle your business challenges. And last but not least, Red Hat's AI solutions fit quite nicely with a standard innovation process and help to pilot and scale easy, both at the same time. So at the end, a very big thank you goes out to Pia, Lucas, and Dominic. It was really a pleasure having you. Thanks a lot.